What is up guys, it's Troy at the Full Setup here, back for another video for you, and today I want to talk about this microphone in front of me here. This is the TechZone Audio Stellar X2. Now TechZone Audio, probably not the best microphone name that you could have chose there, sorry guys. They are an American based company, and I even remember watching some videos on the Stellar X2 last year because I've seen it on a lot of the different microphone channels that I'm subscribed to. They're all raving about this microphone and its K67 style capsule. It's a large diaphragm condenser microphone, even though it looks super tiny here. But it was only really available in America. They did sort of ship it internationally, but it was just something that, you know, I generally just like to buy in my own country. That's just how I like to order my tech and get my things over, unless somebody wants to send one over. But now that they are based in the UK, this microphone with a price of £280, they wanted to send one over to review, and I was more than happy to. I've actually been using this for about my last 5 or 6 videos, sort of tutorials and guides, so I could sort of, you know, understand the microphone a little bit more, because I think when a microphone's priced between sort of that £200 to £300, that's your sort of step up microphone for a lot of people. Maybe you're using something like a Yeti or some other gaming based microphone, or you were maybe using a shotgun mic on your camera, lapel, you know, like a little clip on, or maybe even you were just even using your internal microphone and you thought, you know what, I'm jumping straight over the cheaper microphones. Then this could be something for you. So I'm going to take you in for an unboxing in a minute as well, so we can have a closer look at all the stuff that was included with this microphone. I'm then going to come back and tell you a little bit about myself, because as you can see here, you know, we haven't got lots of acoustic treatment. This is a very big, large room, and I think it's important, you know, as much as it's great to watch videos with, you know, someone that's got perfect mic technique and, you know, all of the acoustic treatment and all that stuff. It's also very good to, you know, find out how a microphone is going to sound in an environment similar to yours. So here is the packaging, the TZ Audio products. We'll talk about the name a little bit more in the video. Stellar X2. The 2 almost looks like it should be squared. Stellar X2, you can see that there on again. Let's wait for some focus. TechZone Audio products, Stellar X2. Designed in Southern California, because these microphones are handmade. I've done this for the second time. I've hit the mic twice opening that box. Let's get it out this way. It's the first time I've sort of done a video like this. It's what I've been sort of getting prepared the last few weeks. Just looking forward to when I can actually get my hair cut. So then there is a picture of the microphone, the TZ Stellar X2 on it. TZ Audio again there, Stellar X2 there. I mean, there's a lot of branding on this. Does this come off? Yeah, it does come off. I'm going to leave it on actually, just in case I take a photo of it for when I do the video. But yeah, that does come off. Flight case, hit the microphone again there. Sure, SM7B is definitely getting in the way. And any of you like watching later on, I am running a voice processor on the SM7B as well, so this isn't just how it comes out. TZ Audio products, nice little pockety slipcase there. And then we have what appears to be, let's have a look. It says the date of the test, 11th of the 3rd, 2020. Just some stuff about all of, you know, how, all the stuff that they use. There is a frequency response chart, which I'm going to show you compared to some Neumann microphones, because that's what a lot of people say that these sound like, and I don't think they do. And we'll look at the frequency charts, but yeah, all handmade in California. But let's have a look what else is in the box then. So we have a shock mount. Just going to reposition this mic. So there is a shock mount there. It's all metal, no plastic, so that's nice. Nice. Well, it doesn't have a lot of movement. Then there is your little foam windscreen filter as well. I actually prefer these, as you can see here, than having a big pop filter in front of me. And then finally, there's this bad boy here. The microphone. Let me get all this out of the way. See that there? We'll get some focus. Get some focus. So it's definitely a bit small. I mean, anything feels small with the last two microphones that I've used, which are an SM7B and a Rode Procaster. But it looks, just with the branding, again, you can see that there, the Stellar X2. I haven't actually got a zoom lens above me here, so I'm just going to have to hold it close for you to have a good look. There you go. You can see the large diaphragm capsule in there. I mean, it looks like a cheap Amazon microphone, like a cheap 40, 50 pound microphone. But I'm telling you, by having this in my hand and from using those Amazon ones, this thing right here, it's heavy. It feels like it's about 5 or 6 of those mics. I definitely think we'll get in a little bit closer next time with the camera, because I've probably got a little bit more space that I can bring it down for the overhead. So the specs on this then, so it uses a K67 style capsule. That's why loads of people are comparing it to Neewer microphones. You can see it. That's a big diaphragm in there, 34 millimeters. It has a frequency range of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, cardioid polar pattern, so it's going to be good for, you know, less treated rooms. Not as good as a dynamic microphone, but it's definitely going to help out with some off-axis rejection, which we'll test in a minute. Sensitivity of minus 30 dB. It's an impedance of 140 ohms, and it has a max XPL of 130 dB. Self noise on this little puppy right here on the TZ focus. TZ Audio Products, 13 dB, which is pretty good. 48 volt phantom power, and it weighs 346 grams, which feels like a lot for something in that size. Let me just... So this is my older SE mic. This is one of my first condensers. That, with the shock mount, this is heavier. Feels heavier. I know that doesn't mean it's a quality of sound, but yeah, there's a lot of weight to this. The logos and the branding make it look a bit cheap. So then there is the unboxing. I did forget to mention as well, and it's rolled off. Oh, here it is. It does come inside the little shock mount. There's a 3.8 to 5.8 adapter there. Okay, little 3.8 to 5.8 adapter for hooking up to different types of mic stands. Maybe like some of the cheaper ones don't have the larger 3.8 stand. Now, the thing I wanted to talk about, as I mentioned there before the unboxing, is, you know, when you watch these channels, I watch a lot of channels. Like I like to watch Podcastage. I like to watch Curtis Judd. Is it Curtis or Chris? I always forget. I like to watch Epos Vox quite a lot. Beef Junkies, and all of them fantastic channels. Fantastic channels. They're the ones I always go to if I want to watch a mic review. Like, why are you here? Go and watch their video about this microphone. But I think it's very interesting. All of them, you know, they have mic technique. They know how to talk into a microphone perfectly. Now me, I've got a sharp sibilant voice. That's something that I can never get rid of. I'm nasally. I talk through here. It's even worse in the summer. That's why I often pass up actually getting new microphones, even buying new microphones to test for myself, or being sent microphones in the summer, because I do suffer from hay fever. Nasally person, you know, not the nicest voice in the world there. And I'm not trying to say that's something that you would have, but if you just make content, whether it's streaming or it's a beauty vlog or just, you know, videos about your life and being out and about, you're not always guaranteed to have all of that stuff, or you might be so much more concentrated on making the other stuff, you're never going to really get to learn it. And there's also a thing about acoustic treatment. Like, I do have some acoustic panels in front of me here. I know people that watch the channel regularly, when I'm sat around the other way, they're going to say, he has got acoustic treatment. Honestly, it's not a lot of it. It's the thin stuff. It doesn't really do much. It's more for a look until I can get some Nano leaf RGB stuff on the wall. You know, and I've added some curtains as well as my blinds, you know, so that does a little bit. And I've got a rug here. There's a few things I can do. But the big stinky thing for me right here is this back wall here, which I definitely need to remove the girly wallpaper for at some point, in the ceiling. Jenna is not going to let me acoustic treatment all of that. This stuff behind my desk she was fine with, because it comes off easy. So I think really what you're going to be hearing right now, I know I'm just waffling on for any reason, but what you're going to be hearing right now is very similar to, you know, your results, and what you're going to get at home if you're using this microphone for spoken word. Okay, and a few other things as well. What have we got it plugged into? So it's plugged in down there to a Behringer preamp. It then goes into a voice processor, which is turned off, and then it comes into a PreSonus Studio 24C that I've got sat in front of me here. So you might say that's a little bit more pro than what you would be using at home, but honestly, you know, that sort of stuff you can apply afterwards in post. I just like a little box where I can dial it all in and have it there, especially if you're doing live streams and stuff like that. But right now you're just hearing it through the preamp, okay? Preamp only, voice processor's turned off, we'll have a little bit of a look at it, you know, in a minute. So let's get into the tests then. So I want to address the first thing about this microphone, the K67 tuned capsule. Everyone, when this came out, was going, it's a TOM 103 killer, or it's a U87 AI killer. I mean, you only have to look at the frequency responses to see that it isn't. I'm not trying to say this isn't a fantastic sounding microphone, but let's just look at it. It's just simple stuff here. The Stellar X2 down here, that's the one in white. As you can see, there's not much of a roll off there, and it does not like the bass too much. So it doesn't really start to roll off to about, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 hertz. And then the TOM 103, that one there, it's rolling off somewhere between about 75. And then we've got the U87 AI, which starts rolling off just before 50. Then as you can see, all three mics super consistent all the way through here, but there are some differences here. So the Stellar X2, you can see it's got this boost here between a 2 and 5K. U87 AI is completely flat. Look at that, flat right there. And then a TOM 103 sort of starts to lift just before 5K, 5 kilohertz, around about that 4 kilohertz range. That's where the TOM 103 is going to lift in, and it's got this really nice presence boost, which probably isn't going to be for my sibilant voice. The Stellar X2, on the other hand, dips between 5 and 10K. It just goes completely off there, and then it boosts a little bit around 10K and drops off again. Now the U87 AI has this nice sort of peaking up, as you can see here. That's what makes the U87 AI sound so good. Well, apparently sounds so good. I don't know. I'm never going to be able to afford one. But I know a lot of people said this is a TOM 103 killer, or it's a U87 AI killer, and it's just not. I've listened to videos of this microphone, okay? I've listened to videos of this microphone compared with them, and it competes so well. And it does so well. But the thing is, there's always been microphones, 200 to 400 pounds microphones. Same with speakers. That's something I know a little bit more about. In the UK, we have loads of 200 to 400 pound speakers, which will constantly always get like great reviews saying they punch with a £1,000 speaker or a £1,500 speaker. And it's the same with some microphones. This isn't the only microphone that punches with big boys. But the thing is about punching, you're always punching. Do you know what I mean? You're not quite there. Microphones like the TOM 103 and even, you know, more expensive, the U87 AI, you're paying for just slight tiny little details there. Little tiny nuances, little tiny things that no other microphone can do. But just because it can do that, at the same time, sometimes your voice might not be suited to it. Right then, so yeah, this microphone is definitely sibilant. It's definitely got some S's in there. So we're going to do some little tests now. I'm going to do an off axis. I'm going to be talking from the sides a little bit there, just so you can hear the sort of off axis. That's me sort of, I don't know, about 1.5 feet away. That's me right up on it. That's me as far as my headphones will go. Probably going to be out of focus because I'm using a manual lens. That's about 2.5 feet. Just to see how that sounds. Pumping purple platypus. Pumping purple platypus. I'm going to use the included pop filter. Pumping purple platypus. Pumping purple platypus. Pumping purple platypus. Now we're going to use the bigger one. This is the Rode one. This is the one that comes with like I was using with my Rode Procaster. Pumping purple platypus. Pumping purple platypus. Now for the sake of the rest of the video, even though this is the one that I've been using the most, we're just going to take it out of the way so it's not completely in front of my face. Now the microphone is also on its included shock mount. I'm sure I probably said that at the beginning of the video. If I didn't, left it a little bit late. But I've just got it on one of those round desktop mic stands, so just a little test there. Okay then, so now I have got Otomo Blues, Otomo, whatever they are, the cheapest blues on the market. It's in front of it. See, cardioid. So let's see how it rejects. Pick up in the back. And then blues, baby. These are kale reds. I think they're kale reds. Oh, that spacebar's loud. Sort that out really, didn't I? Stabs on that roof. And then that's it behind. So just how it's going to sound for all you streamers out there. But obviously you can use stuff now like RTX voice and all of that extra to remove that sort of sound. I'm stuck. So like I said, for for all of this video so far, you've just literally been listening to it going through a preamp and then into an audio interface. The Behringer preamp isn't anything special. It's just what I could afford for now to get this little puppy run in. So what you are listening to right now is it running through the Behringer MDX 2600 voice processor. I've also got the low cut, but I've turned it to about 60 hertz. I think it's about 50 hertz or something like that. On the preamp itself, I've also done a little cut around the 2 kilohertz frequency to sort of try and get rid of that sibilance a bit. Even the de-esser on the Behringer is pretty pants. We've also got an enhancer on there as well. Not an enhancer, a what's it called? Expander. So we've also got an expander turned on it as well. Now there's 2 options, one for tube, one for enhancer. So the tube is on, giving a little bit of, you know, low end warmth, but I've got the enhancer turned off because I just find it adds just too much of that high frequencies. I think using, you know, headphones that are also very big in the high end as well, you can really notice stuff a little bit more. But then it's hard sometimes now when I'm trying to assess stuff with these because they are so sharp at times. I'm like, is it the headphones or is it the audio? I just don't know. But anyway, you know, what do I think of this mic, you know, sound wise? You know, like I said, I'm not an audio professional, you know, but my ears can hear quality when they're put in front of me, all right? And this microphone does sound incredibly well. I would agree with all the other videos that, as I would have just said there just a minute ago, that this microphone is, you know, it's a sharp microphone. They do a vintage version, and that one is apparently, you know, not so much sibilant, but then I've seen some other videos saying that it's a bit more if you're nasally. Now both, you know, those things we can all remove in EQ, and remove a little bit. And this little Behringer thing, if you want me to do a video on it, let me know, because this is something I definitely, you know, recommend to people starting off, because I just get lost sometimes, you know, messing around and editing audio. For every time I get it right, I get it wrong as well. You know, it's just one of those things. I've got so much other stuff to do, so many other things that I want to do with the channel. It's just like I haven't got time to, you know, sometimes you don't have time to learn things, but then you need it to progress because you want to have good audio. I believe audio is more important than video quality. And this is something that is definitely going to be a good step up for a lot of people for, you know, spoken word and using it for that. Now, obviously, I can't, you know, tell you about, you know, what it sounds like with instruments and singing and all of that stuff, but I had watched a lot of videos on this microphone last year. It was something that I was, you know, pretty wowed by when I first saw it. But there is a couple of problems for me. Just one is a little one worth noting. I'll just see it here. This, it doesn't come with this stand, by the way. So this is a stand that I already had. There's a piece of fluff on top of it. It's really doing my head in. So basically, this likes to droop down a little bit, the shock mount. And quite a few times I've gone back to it, and it's been drooping down. The pop filter is, you know, it's nothing massively impressive. I've bought ones like this for a couple of pounds off eBay. So it's nice that accessories are included, and it's nice you got the case and all that stuff. But I just feel that, you know, I don't know. I just feel like these should be a little bit more pro. And some of the reasons I'm going to tell you why I think they should be a little bit pro, or the main reason, and especially buying this microphone in the UK, it is the price. It is the price of this microphone, okay? So when this microphone first came out, it was $150. I think that's what made this thing even more exceptional. Like I said, it's weird. You get it out of the box and it just looks like a little £50 Amazon one. You put it in your hand and it gets your attention. You speak into it and it really gets your attention. And that was $150, okay? I think they changed the casing a little bit on it. The first one looks a little bit different. I remember Beef Junkie's model looks different to this, the outside casing. I could be wrong there. But then it went up to $200, and I think everyone was happy. Everyone was fine with that. Do you know what I mean? Self-assembled in America, you know, you're buying it from, you know, especially if you're American, you're buying it within your own country. Someone's took the time to build it, do all of this, you know. And again, you know, you've got companies that have been in this industry for, you know, over 100, you know, 100 years, something like that. You know, those companies have got all their money supporting these companies making a good product, because that's what TechZone Audio have done. They've made an exceptional product, and that's fine, but it costs $280 in the UK. Now, if I order this microphone from the website, it would cost me £180 with shipping to the UK, because they do ship to the UK. If I then added like import charges and taxes, let's say £50 at max there, it varies sometimes what you'd pay on an import. It's always seems a mystery for me. It's like 20% and then whatever the person extra wanted to charge that day. Yeah, you know, you can get it for £50 less. Okay. And I think it's just a struggle because in the UK, we've got a couple of microphone companies in Lewitt and Aston Audio that make some exceptional microphones between the 150 and 250 pound price point. And one microphone that, for me, again, I'm just saying this UK based, I can see this struggling against is the Rode NT1. Now you can get the Rode NT1 for £200 with a better, much better, more sturdy Rycote shock mount. And it comes with the little the round version, Rode pop filter in front of it. And you can get that for £200. I mean, so then you could buy an audio interface. And that's always going to be an argument, okay? That would always be an argument. I think any microphone under £500, if you spend between £70 and £150 less for something that sounds very similar or almost just gives you the quality that you need, the argument will always be you can get an audio interface for the same price. So I know that's there. Sometimes it actually just comes more down to actual raw sound quality. That's something that I would always go for. That's what I think when I'm buying. I don't think of two products at once. I think of how much money do I want to spend on one product, but that's just me. That's not everyone else. And you can even get the Rode NT1 with that nicer Rycote shock mount with the sort of grill pop filter that plugs into it. I know some people complain about that a little bit, that it likes to pop out and move around and stuff, but you can get that and the Rode audio interface for £250. That's £30 less than this. And I've listened to A to B tests of this and the Rode NT1, and I don't think there's a lot different in it. I really don't think there is. Really don't think there is. The Rode NT1 is another one of those microphones that punches way above its price class, and it's actually got less noise than this, and it's got a better shock mount. I'm sorry, TechZone Audio. I'm not trying to piss on the microphone because I do like the microphone. And I was even thinking about this the other day because so about a month before you sent me the email about this, I bought the Shure SM7B, and I was spending quite a lot of money that time. Around that time, it wasn't just the SM7B, the voice processors, new audio interfaces, setting up all this stuff in front of me so I can do all this multicam recordings, like a lot. Probably, I don't know, almost £3,500–4,000 spent on stuff that you don't see massively as much on the channel the last sort of couple of months. And if I'd had this beforehand, even though I still would have bought an SM7B at some point, I wouldn't have bought it then because this microphone sounds fantastic. Like there is something about, a large diaphragm condenser microphone that just sounds good, but it is going to pick up more room noise. So it's not something that, for different people, this room definitely picks up some tone, but there's worse rooms than this. But I do really like this microphone. I do think it sounds good. In fact, I think it sounds exceptional. To me, it's the best condenser that I've had because I've never spent huge amounts of money on, a condenser microphone. And it's definitely something that I would consider and would tell you to consider under the £500 price point, even under the £300 price point, £200 to £300 price point. Even though I would probably buy a Rode NT1, I would still say this to consider. The Rode NT1 might not be for you. That's the thing with microphones. It's probably one of those products that I've sent the most of back. By so many, and you just doesn't sound right, and you send them back. So in the American market where this is selling for $200, exceptional value, just good value in the UK is what I would say. So I'm going to leave it at that. Anyway, that's it from me today. If you like the video, leave a like. If you dislike the video, leave a dislike, and I'll be back with some more content real soon.